Yesterday, I was super excited, I was bold, I was confident, and I was super enthusiastic of where my business is heading. But then something happened out of nowhere. I got a message from my client and he's like, yo man, I can't pay you and we have to pause. And while that was happening, I was preparing to invest $3,000 a month into an agency that can help me with my outreach. Like book me more calls, teach me on sales, or place a closer and get me more clients essentially, right? And as I was super confident in the investment. Like as I was happy, as I was bold, enthusiastic, all that shit, I was on the call with the agency. I'm like, we're investing, bro, we're going hard. But then when I got the message from the client saying I can't pay you, I kind of like stopped, you know? My heart dropped. I started getting anxious. I started not being so confident, not being so enthusiastic. And I kind of started rethinking about, should I make this investment? Am I going to be able to sustain it? And so in this video, I broke down 3 pages, like in my journal, I broke down 3 pages of what happened in that situation, how I acted, and what I learned from it. So I want to break it down in this video, right? So essentially, I was like, what happened? Why did my heart drop? Why did I feel anxious all of a sudden if I was just like, literally a few hours ago, I was so excited. How did my heart drop so fast just by getting one message from my client? Is my business that unstable that one client is going to change something? So I was hesitant. I was about to invest myself with another 3K a month. I'm investing like a lot, in this period, right? And so I started to calculate payments on the call. When I was on the call with that agency, I started to calculate who am I going to be getting payments from and how many payments is it going to be. And I was like, am I going to be able to sustain the payment? Like, am I going to be able to work with these guys for like 3 months, 6 months? And I was like super fucking confident, right? That's going to work out and I'm going to be able to sustain it. But one of those clients just like said, hey, I can't pay you. And that fucking shifted everything, right? And I started thinking like super emotionally. And what I did instead of pulling out the investment and being like, I'm not going to be able to make it, I went forward with the investment. And you might think this is like nothing special, but I want to teach you a big fucking lesson here, right? So the reality of the situation is I am supposed to make my money back with that investment. If I invest 3K, the nature of the deal that I'm investing in, I'm supposed to make my money back. They're supposed to book me calls. They're supposed to either train me or put a closer and get me clients. I put money in to get money back. So like, they're supposed to help me get 5 to 10 clients every single month. So like, why would one client churning, number one, why would one client churning change the reality or like the situation of me getting 5 to 10 clients? Like, am I really gonna let one client churn stop 5 more clients from coming into the business? Like, that's stupid, right? However, here's the reason why I started like acting the way I did. Truth is, one thing goes wrong in your life, your brain assumes the worst. You know this, like you start to panic and starts creating a chain of negative thoughts, right? So like one thing goes bad and your brain immediately starts thinking what else will go bad. And so in reality, only one client churned, but my mind started thinking about what if 5 more clients churn, right? I had a couple of payments that were supposed to go through and I immediately started thinking, but what if he doesn't pay just like that guy didn't pay? What if that guy doesn't pay? Am I going to be able to sustain this investment or should I pull off? Should I pull back? Should I stay comfortable? What do I do? Our minds will always try to pull us out of uncomfortable situations, even if there is a huge growth upside to them. Like, think about it. Your brain doesn't want uncomfortable situations. Your brain just wants to stay super comfortable. Like, even if it's like not the best situation in the world, if it's comfortable, like it's fucking amazing. But if it's something uncomfortable, like you're taking a step towards something, like your brain will make every excuse under the sun as to why it should pull out. right? And it will always make us try and pull out because it's scared of hard things and more responsibility. But we have to take we have to take control of it and willingly put ourselves into the fire. So even if 5 more clients churned, I have to be able to put myself into the position to put myself under fire and invest those $3,000 to get like 5 more clients every single month back, even if I don't really have the money at the moment. And stack as much responsibility even if we can't initially sustain it. Stack as much responsibility even if you cannot initially sustain it. A lot of people, and this is something that I've did as well, and this is why I'm teaching you, because I went through this, a lot of responsibility will come their way. And instead of thinking, let me actually take all this responsibility, even if I can't take it yet, let me grow to the point where I can actually take this, they will cut out responsibility because they're like, oh, I have to go slowly, or I have to learn to deal with this baseline and then add more. But you never learn at the baseline. You never get better at the baseline. You get better by overloading yourself. That's how you get better. And then you get like, this is the overload level, and you get slightly here, like almost close to the overload, right? But you will never learn on the baseline, right? So that's how you stack responsibility that you can't take, and then you learn how to take it. That's what I did wrong back in like September. We started getting clients, and I was like, well, I'm getting clients and I have so many clients to fulfill on, plus we're doing this method of outreach, and yes, it's getting us clients, but this one is easier and it's also like the same principle. So let me try this. Maybe it's going to get us the same amount of clients, but for less work. Right? So instead of keeping the outreach that was getting us money and adding something else, stacking responsibilities that I can't handle but learning how to handle, I removed responsibility and went with something else that's easier. Right? So do you see my mistake? But if I did both, I would be making so much more money right now and having so much more motion. Right? Because that's what makes us grow as human beings. What makes us grow as human beings is stacking. I heard a quote that goes, bite off more than you can chew and then find a way to chew it. That's literally it. That's what you need to do. You need to put yourself under so much stress, so much responsibility, where you're like, holy shit, can I fucking take this? And you learn how to fucking take it. Yes, you will lose in the process. Like, there's no doubt. If you take on 10 clients right now and you can only handle like 5, you're going to lose maybe like 4 clients. But you're going to end up with like 6 clients. You know what I mean? So there's definitely like that fucking thing is like the biggest lesson in my life right now and that's my like number one goal. Like, I used to run from, I'm just reading off the journal. I used to run from responsibility thinking that it is bad, but that was such a dumb mistake. And I was like, I was being a bitch, to be honest. I was being a bitch. And now one of my like biggest goals is to stack as much responsibility as possible. I just want to stack. Like, we onboarded so many clients recently, and I'm so happy about it because I get to have this opportunity that I had before, but I wasted it, and I'm having it now again, and I'm not going to waste it. And I'm self-aware of that opportunity, so I'm not going to just be dumb and make a mistake and be like, oh, it's too much, so I'm not going to take it. No, I'm aware. This is good. I have so much responsibility. This is good. I have a chance to grow now, right? But you also have to understand that life flows in cycles of positive and negative. Life flows in cycles of positive. This is something I was talking about in the last video. If you haven't watched the last video that I posted on this channel, go and watch it. It's going to give you more context. But life will, like, this is exactly what happened to me at the start. I was feeling happy, excited, enthusiastic. And then that was the positive flow. And then client called me, can't pay. Boom, negative flow. I started being not so confident, anxious, started rethinking the decision of investing, right? That's the negative flow, right? And that's how life goes in cycles. You're going to have bad days, you're going to have good days. But listen to this. And the worst thing you can do is get attached to either of those, right? You don't want to be good when life is good, and you don't want to be negative when life is negative. So when I was excited about whatever things was going good, I shouldn't have been excited. And when the client called me saying bad stuff, bad news, I shouldn't have been anxious and all those things. What I should have done instead, Let me read this. Because what that will do is your life will control you instead of you controlling it. Right? So if you're constantly just following the life cycle instead of your own cycle, life will control you. If you're negative when life is negative, then life has control over when you are negative. And therefore, when you're negative, you make different decisions and different actions. So therefore, life will control your decisions and actions, not you. That's gonna fuck you up in terms of where you actually end up in life, right? What you need to do instead is operate on a baseline no matter what. Meaning, if life is good, you're neutral. If life is bad, you are neutral. But not in an emotionless way, but in a way where you still do whatever you are supposed to do, no matter if life is good or bad, just like I made that investment even when things seemed bad and uncomfortable. I chose not to let life control me. I chose to control life. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. That's how I ended the journal, because it was such a profound lesson. And I think this happens with a lot of people. I chose to make the investment, and because the thing with the investment is this is also a thing where I didn't really believe in myself. When people tell you, oh, believe in yourself, and in your mind you're like, oh, I believe in myself, I can achieve that goal. But when somebody actually breaks that goal down into achievable steps, we're going to get you 30 booked calls, you're I believed I can get to 100K a month, but when they came and told me you can book 30 calls a month and close 5 clients every single month at 8K a month price point, I didn't believe that. But I believed I can get to 100K a month somehow. But I didn't believe the actionable steps. So you will believe that you believe yourself, but you don't actually believe in yourself. And that's another reason why I actually made the investment, because I want to act like I have belief. I didn't believe it initially because it never happened to me, so I can't really, I don't have the experience to believe it. I don't have certainty in it, but I believe, or I want to believe, that it is possible. Right? And so, yeah, I've been burned before, but I'm still going to keep fucking investing in myself because I know that there's going to be a time where something is going to work out. And that's the thing. I don't want to let life control me. Just because in my life before, I've been burned on programs, I don't want to let that control me. I'm going to make my own decision and control my own life with the decision. That being investing in myself even more, right? And so, yeah, that's just a profound lesson I've had lately, and I want to share that with you guys. So again, I'm making these videos, and I genuinely try to really pull out good lessons from my life in my journal and in these videos, because I don't want to, before I used to write my journal, I was so fucking sloppy, bro. I would just write a few sentences just to finish off and cross it as a task. But now I don't want to do that. I actually want to put some good thoughts into it. So yeah, and this channel, I don't really care. The last 3 videos in this channel, even though they were the best videos so far, that's crazy, they got 0 views. I don't know, maybe this video gets 0 views. But my point isn't to get views in this channel. Is to spread the message. And even if I impact one life with this message, fucking awesome, bro. Thank God. Praise God. You know what I mean? So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I have a shitload to do, but I hope this inspired you. And I hope with this, you understand and you are self-aware when life is trying to fuck you and when you're reacting to it, and you can flip the switch and you can actually be like, oh shit, life is trying to fuck me and control me. No. Let me take control. Let me be the one who steers. Okay? And rows and shit like that. Okay? Be super self-aware. Because you may know all this knowledge, but you may not be self-aware, just like I wasn't. And now you're stripping off responsibility and shit like that. All right, so self-awareness is super important. You might have all the information in the world, but if you're not self-aware, what the situation you can apply it on in your life, you're going to be fucked. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Follow me on my business channel. That business channel is teaching you how to grow on Instagram and shit like that. specifically for businesses who already have a business and offer. They're already making 50 to 100K a month and they're looking to scale further with Instagram. That's who it is for. It's not really for people who are starting out. Sorry. You can message me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, message me if you have any questions. I answer every DM personally. I don't have a DM setter yet. So yeah, thank you for watching this video and hope you got some value out of it. Subscribe and share it with a friend if you know somebody who needs it. And see you tomorrow.